Hi, this is Jay Shaw, and I'm answering the question my friend asked me: how do you execute effective marketing for a new business? So, to begin with, I studied business in college at the University of Florida, and I worked at Wells Fargo Bank for 2 summers, in which I sold bank accounts to incoming freshmen. And I use the term sold loosely because the accounts are free. We did have to pitch them and get them to sign up for other features and stuff, but for the most part, it was free. Um, and I'm operating based on my general knowledge about business and life as it applies to this specific question. So, one thing we are taught at Wells Fargo is that when you're selling something, you sell the benefits, not the features. So, say it's a bank account. You don't say, this has this much percentage interest, this has this much percentage, fees, this much. They don't care about that. You say instead, you speak about the benefits of those features because people process information in a way that is conducive to how it serves them, right? If they see something, a nice fruit on the counter, they'll take it. If they see an ugly looking fruit on the counter, they'll not take it. So in that way, they're immediately perceiving, they don't have time to logically sift through everything. So for the bank account, you would say, you're going to get this much money per month, for example. Or you won't be charged for this thing, whereas at another bank you would be. See, you speak about what it means to them. So benefits, not features. That's the first thing. The next thing is you want to put yourself in the customer's shoes and imagine what it would be like for somebody who doesn't know you at all to see whatever it is you're presenting, whether it's a poster or a social media post or video or text, whatever it may be. Look at it yourself as if you don't know yourself, which is very difficult to do because you know everything about the business, but the other people know literally nothing. And that's the point of marketing, to convey some your message to them. It's advisable as well to get as many people around you of diverse types and diverse interests to look at whatever you're presenting and then give feedback. That way you can get it from as broad of a human standpoint as possible and as third person of a human standpoint as possible. There's a quote in The Godfather Part 2, I believe, where Michael, the main guy, says to somebody else something to the effect of, if you can put yourself in someone else's shoes, you can solve any problem. The quote is a little bit different, but it's something like that. So basically, the job of a marketer is to convey a message to somebody who is in someone else's shoes, who's literally in someone else's shoes, and to attract them to whatever it is that the business is offering or selling. The next thing I'd say, the third thing, is the Steve Jobs reality distortion field. I'm actually watching this Steve Jobs movie with Michael Fassbender right now, and I've read parts of his autobiography, and I've seen Steve Wozniak, actually. That's the co-founder of Apple. He came to the University of Florida in 2010 and spoke. So Steve Jobs famously said during the production of the iPhone, when people told him that customers don't want something with a glass screen, they don't want XYZ, Steve Jobs said, the customers don't know what they want. I know what they want. It's an extremely bold statement to make, but he speaks to the reality that customers move with what they see as being accepted. And if you accept something, if you come in with a sense of fortitude or of confidence within whatever product that you have, it will translate in the way in which you present it. If you doubt it, if you as a messenger of your product or your business doubt what it is that you're bringing into the world, and that doubt expresses itself in a marketing standpoint or very heavily from an internal standpoint, it'll bring the thing down. You won't be able to stand up against the multitude of forces that could otherwise bring you down. You'll actually falter and crumble. You'll allow them to bring you down. So, what Steve Jobs did, he said, I know what they want. And in this case, he turned out to be right, because the smartphone is considered as being developed in 2007 when iPhone 1 came out, or the iPhone came out. They had the BlackBerry before that for years, but nobody thought of a touch screen with a glass screen. But he was meticulous in making sure that he created it. Then he gave something to the public and said, this is what you want. And he was very good at creating marketing campaigns and so forth, making it look stylish, and so it has. It's taken off, and it's been the industry leader for a long time. And the other phones, like different Android phones and other phone manufacturers, have modeled themselves based on the iPhone, at least loosely. Then they've diverged into their own individual identities. But I think with those three pieces, anybody can set the groundwork for making a successful marketing campaign. As far as the technicalities, I can't speak to that. I'm not a marketing person myself. I know obviously social media is extremely important. You want your optics to look good. You want what you give to seem as relevant to people's emotional center as possible. If you think about it, there are so many things out there. I'm a musician. There are millions of musicians. I make speeches, I make videos. There are literally millions of videos out there, billions of videos, and probably millions of people doing it. What differentiates me? Why would anybody watch me? These are things that I should think about. You can't let these thoughts consume your mind, because you have to be a producer of the product as well. And if you think too much in other people's terms, you're not going to be able to give something distinctive. You don't want to be a me too. A me too is somebody who just copies something that somebody else does. They create knockoff things, and they take a mold of success and they copy it as closely as possible in hopes that their thing is going to get some sales, right? What happens when you do that, it could be successful, but you end up becoming a commodity, which is to say you create something that is not distinctive. It won't make you might make money off it, or you might not. You might just fail. When you make something unique, experimental, innovative, you can also fail because it's untested, but you can also win, and win very big. So make it as relevant to the pulse of the times as possible. So what's happening today with coronavirus at this very moment, March 31st, 2020? Lots of people are at home, so businesses have moved to fill more needs, right? Home deliveries, for one. Content of like how to, meditation apps, making fitness apps free. Whatever it is, they've altered themselves to make themselves relevant to the times, because you live and you operate in this time. If the Beatles didn't do what they did in a way that was relevant to the 60s, they would have been irrelevant. If Steve Jobs didn't do what he did at the time that he lived, he would have been irrelevant, right? So it's a matter of presenting something that makes yourself relevant to people. So think about what they need and find a way to address it while maintaining your own authenticity, while not selling out completely to the demands of other people. So doing this takes a fair degree of finesse and a fair degree of confidence and a fair degree of tenacity, but done correctly, anybody can, well, I don't know about what anybody can do externally, but these are the ways of actually doing it. Bill Gates had a quote, if I had $2 left, I would spend one on PR. You have to let people know what you're giving. And if you think about it this way too, the money you spend on marketing is not just an investment in yourself and your product and your future. It's also an investment. It's an investment in the success of the thing that you're providing to the world. So people, as a result of the money you're spending and the efforts you're putting, people are benefiting from it because they get access to your product. And if you believe in your product, you would spend on it. Because if you believe it can help people, you're spending so that your product can find itself in the hands of other people. and then other people benefit too. When you take the focus off yourself completely, there is, within any business interaction, there's yourself, the thing being transacted, and the receiver. When you take the focus, and each aspect of the chain matters. It's a chain, right? Like a chain link, right? You, product, customer, right? When you look at it from the whole sense, what you put into it leads to the chain being completed, and it gives to somebody else as well. So with all that in mind, I think anybody can make a good marketing strategy, provided they have a good product, and hopefully things go well for them. Starting a business is tough, everybody knows that, but it's always a good time to try, and it's always a good time to innovate and create something that the world hasn't seen, and see if we can dynamicize things and get more things into the hands of more people. So I'm Jay Shaw. If you like this video, please like it, please subscribe, please share it to whomever you think would benefit from it. And with that being said, I'll see you later.